All right, we're having a baby. It's happening. I just got out the shower. This is nuts. You got Justine over here. Her water broke. She was changing Carmelina. Carmelina was butt naked. Her water broke. And I was going to pick up a snowblower. Thanks, Uncle Mark. Shout out. And it's happening, people. What up? That guy, the legend, Lucas Leonard. He's coming out. We're heading there now.
Pay attention.
Daddy, a son's first hero. Here we come. Girl, you rock that gown like a, I don't know.
Okay, literally though.
Budget.
Once real stuff happens.
Oh yeah.
That's off.
Oh yeah. It's off.
Yeah.
What does the ball do?
I don't know, but it does feel better than.
Hey everybody, we just wanted to come over pretty much through a video and explain our journey thus far with Lucas and the family as a whole and kind of how we've been dealing with everything. First and foremost, we just want to thank every single one of you for following his journey, for praying for Lucas, for lifting us up in prayer, for supporting us in so many ways. I mean, endless things that have been done, from church family to friends and family. It's really been incredible to see God work through such a broad community, and I think that's one of the greatest things that's blessed me in this process. And there's been a lot of dark things, but when you see a community come together like that, it really blesses our heart, and we just want to say thank you so much. There's been, obviously hard times through this journey so far, this 7 months, but I think the perspective that we've gained throughout, to try and just see good in everything. We've absolutely grown as parents. We know our family's grown closer, like even things that we're seeing Carmelina do that we just cherish a little bit more. And it's a lot of things, quite honestly, that we might have taken for granted earlier in her life, and Lucas has really shined a light on our family cherishing every single moment that we have. So first off, I think we should just update you guys on everything that we've been going through in the past 7 months, because I think the biggest question is, how's Lucas? And the best answer is he's still here. So we did it this far. We're going. Lucas is a legend. We said it from day one. He's a legend, and I think he's the biggest fighter out of all of this. And it's hard for an infant to really express and complain, I guess. And we just know that he's the biggest fighter of all in this process. And I think as long as we see Lucas continue to fight, we're gonna continue to fight. Right. He's been our motivation, and doctors have said countless times, don't give up on Lucas. Like that phrase, don't give up on Lucas, I think has been something that we've really taken to heart. And we're not only not gonna give up on him, we're gonna go 110%. Yeah, all in for him. I like that. All in. You better get it, girl. Let's talk about Lucas a little bit, just an update on Lucas. I think the last post that we put on Instagram was of Lucas crying for the first time. It was 77 days after he was born. And that was an incredible moment, because from before that point, we didn't hear a sound come from Lucas, and you don't know whether an umbilical cord around his neck or anything really could have damaged his vocal cords. And we know for sure now that Lucas definitely cries. He's got a beautiful voice. He sings.
Yep.
He sings with his hands to his mouth, which is really good.
He plays with his tongue.
Plays with his tongue a
Plays
lot.
with his tongue. Yep.
Yeah. It's really cute when he does the, like he
Don't do
like
it.
spreads
Don't.
his nostrils.
Not as cute as Lucas.
Like he does that for like 5 seconds. It's the best.
He's very vocal.
Yeah, he's vocal, so he's gonna sing one day. We know this. Carmelina's already on top of that too.
Right.
So after that last post, I think things just really ramped up as far as like, if I were to use a modern day term, it got real. I think coming home from the hospital, that was like a feat in itself, and when we got back home, it was excellent. You know, we were like, oh my goodness, we don't, one, have to sleep in a hospital, two,
We
just
get to be a family.
yeah, we get to just be normal again, be a family with Carmelina and Lucas, which was huge. But I think after that 3-month mark, I think things really started to get real.
Like a lot of things started to unravel,
Yeah,
unfold.
things were unfolding. He started getting diagnosed with things, and we were really not, I don't think anyone's really prepared for news about their baby and the repercussions of level 4 intraventricular hemorrhage and what down the road things would unfold through that. So, I mean, I do feel like I kind of owe an apology as far as not updating his account, because there was a lot of hype built up as far as like, let's, you know, track his progress. But I think, to be real, we were a little overwhelmed with, you know, just managing day-to-day life, never mind, hey, let's try and fit what goes on the highlight reel, because that's really what Instagram is for everyone. It's their highlight reel, and what kind of stays behind the scenes. And I think I apologize, but that's why we wanted to do this video, is we really wanted to update on all the good that truly has come from Lucas. Yeah, and all the things that kind of have unfolded within the first 6 months of his life. And one of the 7, he's 7 months. Dad, you know what I'm talking about. So one of the first things I think we were really noticing with between that 3 and 4 month range was Lucas's vision. He just wasn't really responding to us and like things that we would do or objects that were necessarily placed in front of him. He kind of just would like scan things, and not necessarily a thing, he would just scan. And that raised question to our PCP, which referred us to an ophthalmologist, and a neuro-ophthalmologist to be exact was the one to end up diagnosing Lucas with CVI. And CVI is cortical visual impairment. And essentially what that is, it used to be called cortical blindness, but after tons of research and really doctors looking into this more intensely, there's a lot of hope with CVI.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. So like, you know, at first you're like, okay, cortical visual impairment, that's a lot of words. And, you know, obviously we were worried, like, what does that mean? And
We also had some negative vibes regarding Lucas's future,
yeah.
in a sense. So we really had to take what we wanted to hear with a grain of salt, and
Yeah.
really focus on the specialists, and obviously on what God has for Lucas.
Right. And I think that was another thing that we kind of had to navigate, was like, who do we listen to? Who do we kind of, like she said, take with a grain of salt? Because really Lucas has specialists for the specific things that he might be struggling in. So that was something to navigate. But I mean, the testimony to that is that CVI, there's a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we're continuing to educate ourselves on that diagnosis, I feel like we're gaining more and more hope through it, because essentially there's no child with CVI that can't see in some way. So the mission is, how can Lucas see? You know, what ways can he see? Let's adapt his world basically to how he sees. That's what we're going to be on the journey for from this point on.
He's going to be getting like a lot of early interventions.
Yeah.
A lot of therapists and specialists coming in and
Yeah.
really working on those on CBI specifically, and then
Because of the things that took place in his brain, we were just made aware by our neurologist that Lucas could have obvious developmental delays as far as walking or, you know, mobility. You know, and there's things that we've noticed that he might be a little behind in, but it's nothing that we don't believe. You know, physical therapy, occupational therapy, I mean, really Birth to 3 in general is
Yeah,
huge
awesome.
to have and coach us
Very
as the
thankful
parents
for
through
those
it.
services.
Shout out to Lori.
Shout out to Lori.
She's cool. She's awesome. So we got CVI, Birth to 3, and just recently we were dealing with our neurologist on things that we were just noticing in Lucas, as far as he would kind of go through a little, I guess they're spasms is what they are. That we didn't know that term at the time.
Right. We weren't sure what was happening.
Yeah, so right away when we noticed them, we gave the hospital a call. We went in and we just explained what was happening with Lucas. They hooked him up to the EEG, and you know, he did get diagnosed with infantile spasms. So we're in the journey now, the road to defeating that and trying to get over that hump. And he's a trooper. He's
a champ.
killing it. Taking medicine twice a day. What baby wants to even take medicine? Never mind the medicine that he needs to take. I mean, he's just amazing at what he's enduring and accomplishing. I would just say watch out, 'cause he's gonna do something great. And I think the whole real meat and potatoes of this thing is, you know, after updating all of you on Lucas's condition and kind of where we're at the 7th month mark, really we just wanted to inform people that we're blessed. There's been a lot of trying to walk on water types of things that we necessarily didn't know how to do. We didn't know what to do. We just kind of trusted God and kept moving forward and tried not to look down. And
Still,
yeah, I mean, it's a daily thing. It's
I think it'll always be with Lucas.
yeah, and I think that might be exactly what God's trying to reveal to us, is that he wants us every day. You know, he doesn't want us conditionally when we need him. You know, he wants a relationship with
He
us.
wants us in the valley and
On the mountaintop.
mountaintop.
Yeah, you better preach, girl. Oh, shoot.
just preaching what I gotta receive.
So I would say, as a father, it's been hard in a sense that, you know, I'm very interactive with Carmelina. I'm just interactive with kids in general, all of our nieces and nephews, and I think what gets me like really going is when a child responds to me. So I think the hardest thing is being patient with Lucas and his response, because there are times where, you know, I'll say the famous "Wootis, what you do, what you do, tis," and of course, you know, sometimes he'll smile, and then other times I'll get home from work and I'll say it and he doesn't smile, and
Sometimes he cries.
sometimes he cries. I mean, you know, Dad can't catch a break, but I think that's been my biggest struggle, is just like wanting that interaction with my boy. And it's not that it's not there, it's just a process, and having to learn to enjoy every step of that process has been a challenge to me, has been really depleting sometimes, and I feel like I've grown a lot through it, but there's still a lot to be grown in me, developed in me. But yeah, that's one thing I think for me. What about you?
You know, as a mama bear daycare. No, but as a mom, you know, does it break my heart every single day to see him, you know, struggle in the physical sense? Of course, it absolutely, you know, shatters me that my son has to go through, you know, all these things that, you know, quite frankly, we had no idea that any of this would happen to him. So in a sense, yes, I am constantly either crying or, you know, angry at just the situation. And at the same time, I'm just choosing joy because Lucas is here. He's breathing. He's our miracle. He's our miracle boy. And like literally, he's our miracle.
Yeah.
And it's God's grace within me and strength within me that pushes me to just keep going and being the best that I can be for my boy and for my girl. We're just so blessed to have Carmelina. I feel like God gave her such a spirit and a personality towards her brother that I've never seen. She has such a raw connection with him, and it's just like love. And if anyone knows Carmelina, she can be pretty tough. She's like her mom at times. She's strong-willed. But with Lucas, it's like loving on him all the time, cuddling, just wants to be his protector. And I just feel like, you know, that's so God in our family for that reason. You know, she's going to be his biggest cheerleader. So as a mom, I'm just constantly, my perspective is always changing, that I'm always blessed. Lucas has totally changed my whole outlook on life, to just stop focusing on the little things, complaining about the little things, and really focusing on the things that matter in our life. And you know, the hashtag LT Strong that we came up with when he was born, really shouldn't be taken lightly. We didn't even know, you know, the essence of what we were saying, but he truly is LT Strong, and this boy has a purpose. We know that there's a reason we're going through this, through the struggle, you know, through the valley right now. We don't know what the future holds exactly, but we do know that God's in it and that Lucas has such a purpose. I'm so excited to know and to go through the journey with him, and I'll be right by his side, and we will be supporting him every step of the way, in whatever God has for him. But you know, we're just gonna be like very steadfast in knowing that, you know, Jesus has the best for his life, and he has the best for, you know, each and every one of us, and it's just choosing to change your perspective, and choosing joy, truly joy in the midst of everything that you're going through.
I like how you actually said that specific phrase, choosing joy, because I think if there's one thing that I've like really seen develop within me, is a decision to choose those things.
Because it's a battle.
It
is a battle to wake up and choose to not see your circumstance as
like allowing your circumstance to dictate, you know, how you feel, and really telling your feelings how to feel, you know, and
you know, like this is how we fight our battles. That song, it really
my favorite
has
shirt.
It really has meaning to it, in a sense that like, we wake up every morning and it's a battle. We're not gonna sugarcoat it, like,
but we have to fight.
But we fight,
and we fight by choosing
to choose joy.
We fight by choosing love. We fight by choosing hope.
Hope.
Hope. You like hope?
I do like hope.
I like hope too.
Well, joy and hope, because just from our experience with everything so far with Lucas, and medically too, with everything that we have been told, there's definitely ways that like I can see us having no hope, feeling defeated in a sense, by just seeing the physical, the reality of what, you know, in our case what Lucas has, but so many people go through such pain, and it breaks my heart just from what we have seen, and you know, being in the hospital, and in relation to people who have gone through some pain. We all have levels of pain, but it's really choosing hope in your season, in your circumstance. It's choosing hope, because hope is what is literally going to drive you through to your victory. to what we know God has for us and what God has for Lucas. And if there was no hope, I don't know where we would be right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be, sitting here right now talking to you guys.
I know about that specifically.
And we'll be real, we definitely have our moments of complete brokenness. A day where I am just crying with some Ben and Jerry's, and it's just, we're human. I had to tell him. We're human, and it's okay to feel this way. But it's like getting back up off your feet, knowing Jesus hears you.
And I think that's kind of where we're at now in this journey, is recognizing the choice that we have within ourselves to choose those things: joy, love, peace, really the fruits of the Spirit, kindness, gentleness, self-control. I mean, all of them. I'm not going to name them all, I almost did. But but I think hope has really been like resounding in us lately. And like Justine said, with the hope that we walk through the hospital very frequently. We're in the hospital a lot with Lucas, and every single time I feel like every time it never fails that we really have someone either walk by or we walk by, and we just see a situation that is much worse than what we're going through, and that doesn't, we're not here to compare pain, but what we are here to do is shift everyone's perspective, because the reality of this whole thing is we live in a day and age where everyone is cool with putting up their highlight reel. Everyone's cool with saying, hey, my life looks so good, look how good my life looks, whether it's through an Insta post, an Insta story, a Facebook cover or something. All of us have a behind the scenes. We obviously know our behind the scenes. We don't know your behind the scenes. You don't know that person that you may have just saw on Instagram put up an awesome post about Thanksgiving or Christmas. You don't know their behind the scenes. But I think what we need to all understand and kind of set our perspective is that we all have a behind the scenes, and pain is pain, hurt is hurt. There's no comparison of, well, you don't really know what pain is, and you don't know what I've been through, so you can't even really relate. And I think if we could all get to that perspective and meet each other in the middle of that, and generate conversations of our behind the scenes conversations, not our highlight reel conversations, I think we'd see a huge breakthrough in relationships and really a community from all of us. And I think that's really what we've seen through this, is like the more that we share our behind the scenes with people, the more we develop closer relationships. And in those closer relationships, I think that's like the depiction of hope. And obviously our hope is Jesus. And this whole process, from the second that Lucas was born and it was hitting the ground running, as far as what they saw and getting rushed to the NICU, we used the phrase, I said right to my parents right away, I walk by faith and not by sight. And I think that set the tone for this entire journey, is walking by faith and not by sight. And even before Lucas was born, while he was still developing inside of Justine, we were speaking Jeremiah 1:5. A paraphrase of it is, before you were born, I set you apart. And that was set over Lucas's life beforehand. And walking by faith and not by sight is basically declaring the things that we don't see. And that's where our hope lies. Our hope lies in things in the unseen. And it sounds crazy, it might sound a little complicated, but the truth of the matter is, our answer is Jesus and the hope of Jesus, because he's the hope of the world. We truly believe that. We've tangibly felt that, whether it was in a hospital, in the NICU, whether it was at the Children's Medical Center, whether it was here in our living room. we've really felt the grace of God and the hope of Jesus. And, you know, we wanted to make this video not only to update people, but we wanted to open up the conversation really of what is people's hope, because we walk through the halls of the hospital and we're just blown away by the amount of people that are going through things so much worse than us. And like the question is, do they have hope? And do you have a faith that is basically carrying you through your trial and this journey? And you know, if I could encourage anyone that, one, your pain is relevant, it matters, and most importantly, it matters to God. He cares, and he wants you to turn to him for answers. He wants you to turn to him with anger, with everything wrapped up in, you know, to stay festive in your own present. You know, give it to God.
He doesn't want your perfectness. He wants your brokenness.
He doesn't want that highlight reel. He doesn't want you to put on the fake, you know, story. He doesn't want those things. He wants us raw, real, and really, I think, wrestling. Really, it's like I feel like I'm in a state of like wrestling with God, because this is my boy. This is, you know, this is our son, that like our legacy, you know, that's gonna carry out the Timbro name, you know. So there's a lot that goes within question as far as like, what is God doing? And I think that might not be the best question, and God's really trying to show us who he is. And I think if we just continue to discover who God is and the heart that he has for his people, his children, we'll really develop a relationship that will make us unbreakable, unstoppable. And you know, it's easy to say this right now, and well, I can guarantee you by the end of the week we'll still be struggling. You know, but we just really wanted to encourage everyone to shift your perspective, hug your family and your siblings tighter than you ever have, cherish them through these holiday seasons, and I would say consider Jesus. Consider a faith in knowing that he died for you, and that he loved you, that he made you blameless before the Father, and that he rose. And salvation comes off as intimidating when you think about it, but it's really so simple at its core, and it's simply believing in your heart and confessing with your mouth that Jesus died for you and he rose on the third day. And really, if you do that and you continue to live your life with a relationship with Jesus, a living, breathing relationship, I can guarantee you that there's something that will shift in your life, not only a perspective, but your character, your outlook on life, that you won't regret. And we're grateful once again, we're grateful for every single person that has sent out a text or said a prayer at night, who has taken time out of their day to pray for us. You know, I pray a blessing over every single one of you, and I just hope that this encourages you. You know, we just wanted to encourage people that there's hope to every situation. Don't stop.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't. There's so many times that the both of us have gotten to a breaking point, and it's like you really teeter on the edge of giving up. And you know, why give up now? You've made it this far. Just continue to push. I promise it'll be worth it. Just thank you guys so much for listening to us, for making it this far in the video.
Thank you for your support and your love, and just always be continually praying for LT, because he has a journey ahead of him. So
there's a lot.
The best is yet to come, but there's a lot to come.
Right. There's a lot to unfold still, and you know, we believe that your prayers are what cover us.
Matters.
You know, and the grace of God will cover us. And we'll be praying for every one of you. And if you ever have questions or anything, reach out to us.
Absolutely.
I hope the intention of this video is so I don't have to text 47,000 people on the update of LT. But, if there's things that you want to talk with us through, like, we're here, we're available. We love you guys. Every single one of you. Thank you. Special shout out to the grandparents. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for their willingness to deal with our little girl during this time. It's about to get real. I'm not gonna keep going because I'll start crying.
Stop it.
But for real, we love you guys. You not only raised us, but you're now willing to, in a way, raise our girl in times that you make it so natural that she's just having a sleepover,
Yeah. And raise our boy in times where we
right.
Yeah.
I mean, sacrificing work to stay with him. We're just so grateful. And
blessed.
I don't think Stop it. Stop. I don't think there's a gift during this holiday season that can tell that. We're just really grateful. Come on. Stop it.
We just wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah. We love you guys. I'm not supposed to cry on camera. But it's real.
It is, it's real.
And
Real life.
we'll stay real. Be real. That's it, right here. That's I love you. We love you. Rock on. Stay LT strong.
And hashtag LT strong.
Yes. Love you guys. Thank
Love you
you.
guys.